morning and welcome back to Family Meeting. We're looking forward to a great time together. We had such a great time in Dallas. We'll talk about that a little bit on the podcast as we get into it. But this is one of those things where if you don't travel a lot, you kind of think of travel as, especially when it comes to like work, as like this glamorous thing.
Yeah. Like, oh, I wish I could travel that much.
But like we got up, let's see, our flights were early Friday morning. Mm-hmm. So we got up at 1:30 our time. So it'd be 12:30 Dallas time.
Mm-hmm.
And
in the middle of the night, basically.
Yep. Midnight, basically. Got up, drove 2 hours to the airport, and then spent an hour or more going through security. It was a nightmare.
It was so bad.
Like, we were literally there before they opened security, and it took forever.
Yep.
I think because of the government shutdown and all that. But we get through security. We get there. Get in kind of early. We had a nice day.
It was like 8 a.m. when we landed, 8:30 or something.
Yeah. But we stayed up until 6 or 7 that night just so we could, like, sleep through the night. But then coming back... So then we come back, we get there on a Friday, we have Marriage Day Saturday, and it goes up till Saturday afternoon. We have to leave the event, drive straight to the airport, and then fly back. Well, we get on the plane, and then we have to sit at the gate just waiting for people to get on. Some other flight was delayed because of weather, and it was the last flight of the evening, so
they were waiting for people.
They just waited. Then we get out there, and we have to sit on the runway, the taxiway, for 30 minutes or more to get into Houston. And I think it was, once again, government shutdown because of the air traffic controllers.
Yeah.
So then we end up getting back to Orlando late. It was almost 1 a.m. by the time we hit the ground.
Mm-hmm. And Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. So we get a 2-hour drive here. So we could come home, sleep for a couple hours, go to church.
It was a rough weekend.
Yeah. It was worth it. The event was great, but it's one of those things where if you just hear, "Oh, you're flying here, you're driving there," it's like so glamorous, but it's not. It's what you got to do to do the thing that you love, and like meeting people and investing in people is great.
Yes.
And,
it's totally worth it.
It is worth it. Yeah, but it was like Sunday, Monday, I was just wore out.
Mm-hmm.
Wore out.
It was a rough weekend for sure.
Yeah, but it was a fun weekend. I hope that you have had a great weekend. We would love to hear about what you have going on in your life.
Yes.
We're going to be talking today about more play. So this is one of those episodes where, you know, if your kids are watching, you may want to like, hey, how about you not watch this one? I'll catch this one on my own, or as a couple we'll watch it. Because I know we do have some of our listeners who are kids. So
yeah, we have kids and teenagers that watch and listen, and most of the time, that's great.
Yeah. So this is kind of a mom and dad episode. None of our YouTube videos are marked as made for kids, so
yeah,
it's like watch at your own risk, or let your kids watch at your own risk.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk a little bit about more play. Most of you have heard of foreplay, so this is kind of a play on words. More play. So we're going to jump into it today. Episode 265. Here we come.
Okay.
Gather round, everybody. It's time for a family meeting. The Family Meeting is a show that's all about family relationships. We're the Osterkamps. I'm Thomas. This is my wife, Lysandra.
Hello, and welcome to our family. Welcome to episode 265 of the Family Meeting podcast. We are glad that you are with us today. On today's episode, we're going to discuss more play. We've all heard of foreplay, but what about more play? In other words, after sex care. It's what happens afterwards, after sex, and it can play a really important role in your marriage. So we want to just give out this fair warning. If you are a teenager, if you're a child, or if you're mom and dad with kids in the background, this is not an episode for children and teens. This is an episode for mom and dad only. So this is your time to turn it off or play it later.
I mean, unless you're ready to have the talk with them and you're riding down the road, like.
Even if I was, okay, so all of our kids have had the talk, but don't want to talk about this. Like, not this much. Like, maybe the week before they get married, like, to just make sure that they know that this is a topic. But, yeah, other than that, no, they don't need to hear this.
So, you have been warned.
Yes.
But we'll give you a couple seconds here because before we jump into the conversation for today, we're having a different conversation and discussion in Family Meeting Community Group. Lysandra found a meme and she posted this, and it is a couple of boys. They're riding what appears to be a zebra at the mall, and one kid's falling off, and he's got the other kid's hood on his sweatshirt and is like choking him because he's falling off, and it says, "Random person without kids. I heard boys are easier than girls. Parents of every boy, hold my coffee." And of course, that is the photo.
Yeah.
I don't know if our YouTube can see that photo right there. And so here's the conversation, because Lysandra said, what's the verdict, boys or girls?
Yeah. So I asked the question because we only have girls. We don't know the other side of the coin with boys. So I kind of wanted to throw it out there and see what everybody else thinks about boys or girls, who's harder to raise.
Yeah. So Chloe Koski says, boys 100. They break something every day.
And she has one girl and two boys. So
young boys too.
She knows both sides of the coin. So they break something every day. It's like, why even get anything nice?
Exactly.
It's like what parents say. This is why we can't have anything nice.
Exactly. Yeah, yes. Because they break it all. Carla DeBose says, boys are easier. Girls equal drama.
Okay, so she disagrees with Chloe.
And they definitely have both.
Yeah, yep. They have 7 kids. 3 boys, 4 girls.
Yep. So they've got a lot going on over there. For them, boys are easier. Lena Williams comments underneath that and says, yes, with a bunch of S's. Like, she agrees that boys are easier, girls are drama.
And she's got one of each.
Allie Horsley did the little Will Ferrell GIF that says nope on it. So I don't know. She thinks like girls are easier, maybe.
I'm not sure what she's voting for.
Yeah. Patty Allen says Elijah was so much easier than the girls. Chris DeWin agrees. She says boys are easy, girls ... Not so easy.
Yeah.
Claudette says my daughter is easier now at the moment. For a 14-year-old, she's not into the usual drama that usually happens at this age. My son, on the other hand, is having behavioral challenges, impulse control, and struggles with organization. Yeah, so that can be difficult for sure. And I think a lot of that depends on the child too, because
Absolutely.
there are girls that struggle with those sorts of things also. So Lena Williams, she says boys are much easier emotionally so far, but it will be a miracle if my house is still standing before he's grown.
Yeah.
I like this view from Matthew Chase, and I've heard this before. Obviously, I don't know if it's true because I only have girls. Boys are easier when they are older, and girls are easier when they are younger. So I thought that's kind of an interesting take on it.
I have heard that more than once as well.
Yeah. So there's more conversation that is happening there. But I thought that was an interesting thing, especially for us to get the perspective of those who have boys, because we don't know the first thing about raising boys.
No, we do not.
We only know the 4-legged variety.
Yeah, coconut's a boy, is what he's trying to say, for those of you who are like, what?
Yeah, coconut. So we're happy to be back here in Palm Coast. We had such a great time, though, this past weekend in Dallas at Levon Drive and their marriage day. So much fun. Great facility. Maybe one of the nicest auditoriums we've been in.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely lovely.
Yeah. And they did some interesting things. They had and if you are connected with us on social media, you saw this. We took a picture behind it, but they had a frame that they made, big tall frame that you could stand behind. It had the marriage day on it, and you could get a nice picture. And then they did something I've not seen at other marriage events. They had a QR code around the facility that you could scan, and it brought up this app that had you could choose from different picture frames and take a selfie and then have that digital picture inside the frame. So I thought that was really cool. and really just talked about fighting for your marriage and fighting for your legacy as a couple. And I think a lot of times we don't take time to think about or consider the impact that our marriage can have on the world around us, and the impact that it should have. As we're investing in people, building our own relationship, it can impact, generations down the line.
Yeah.
They were great discussions that we were able to have, met some great people. We typically do a Q&A, and they asked a lot of great questions.
Yes, they did.
That I thought was good. It was funny because they had a bunch of different breakout sessions, and we weren't the only ones doing breakout sessions. We did the keynotes, the main sessions, just us. And so our breakout session was on sex, and it was kind of a small room, and
it was so, you were so close to the people. So
kind
we're
of
talking
intimate.
about sex, like really close to everybody. We're like, hey guys, this is maybe gonna get uncomfortable.
Yeah. But we did the same breakout twice, one before lunch, one after, and different groups were in each. And the second time, the discussion was really good.
Yeah, it was.
We finished up what we were talking about, opened up for discussion, questions, and it was just a good time. And we just encourage people to make sure that you are investing in your marriage relationship, whatever that is. That is so important to us. I'm going to be speaking tomorrow on Pastors Connection Network, their monthly Zoom call to ministry leaders, just talking about the importance of investing and prioritizing your marriage in ministry. And so if you have the opportunity, whether it's through a marriage course, a marriage group at your church, something you take online, you go through a marriage book together, make sure you're taking time to invest in your marriage.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to the opportunity. We're a month away now from the National Small Group Conference, and we're going to be doing a couple of sessions there for all the small group leaders who are in attendance.
And that's back in Dallas.
Yep, back in Dallas area this time. Instead of in Garland, we'll be on the opposite side over on Grapevine. So looking forward to that time as well. And if you simply just Google National Small Group Conference, you will see the link and the website and all that for all the information that you need. We'll also post that on our socials as well.
Sounds good. All right, let's jump into today's discussion. Just to give you a little bit more of information on what we're talking about today. In today's episode, we want to look into the importance of after-sex care. So this is what happens in the minutes and hours after intimacy. Because too often couples miss this vital step. And this can leave one or both spouses feeling disconnected, unseen, or even used.
Yeah, and it's such a sad thing because sex is a beautiful and a wonderful thing in a marriage, and it should be all about connecting physically, emotionally, spiritually, and if you're not careful, it can end up doing the exact opposite of that.
Absolutely.
Which is a travesty.
Yeah, but with intentionality, after-sex care can become a powerful way to deepen love, deepen security, and really invest in spiritual connection. Because if sex has ever felt transactional or disconnected or routine, we're hoping that the information we give you today is going to help you rediscover God's design for intimacy and sex as a gift that connects body, soul, and spirit.
And most of us understand how important foreplay is in just kind of building that anticipation and that connection before you actually have sex and lead up to it. This is one of the things we were talking about in our breakout session at the marriage day was, hey, making sure you have that connection outside of the bedroom. Otherwise, sex does just feel like transactional or that you're using somebody. And so we want to share 3 reasons today why after-sex connection is just important as foreplay. And it starts off, first of all, with that emotional bonding and intimacy. So you may or may not know this already, but after sex, oxytocin, which is often called the love hormone, is released, which enhances feelings of closeness and trust. It's one of those reasons why we talk about the importance of sex and that bond that it creates between you. Sex isn't everything in a marriage relationship, but it is often something that can cause a lot of issues and a lot of problem. We think it is an important part of your marriage relationship. But engaging in cuddling, talking, or simply being present with your partner after sex deepens emotional intimacy and reinforces the bond created during the sexual experience. Mm-hmm. So without this connection, one or both partners might feel emotionally distant or used even after an intimate act.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is something that we talk about. Like, there's something unique, and we see this even in Scripture. There's something unique about sex, that it's not just a physical act. It is physical, obviously, but it is emotional and spiritual as well. And so if you're not working to create that connection, it does cause a lot of issues in the relationship.
Right. Here's another reason that after sex care is really important. It brings affirmation and reassurance. So after sex moments can be very vulnerable, especially for people dealing with insecurities and emotional baggage, which, I mean, let's face it, that's kind of all of us. Mm-hmm. To a certain degree, I think all of us have some sort of insecurities, some sort of emotional baggage, something from the past. So affectionate gestures, eye contact, and affirming words can provide reassurance. Now, I think that this is really important too, is to think about love languages and how your spouse receives love.
And we do have an episode about love languages in the bedroom.
Yeah, we do. But putting love languages into the idea of after sex care and just really thinking about that may be a very good thing. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like, for instance, we'll typically talk, like, words are important to Lysandra. So typically talk about what we each enjoyed, what we liked about, that experience together, that particular time. And so it kind of builds and creates that bond.
Right.
And touch touch and time are two of, the highest ones for me. And so we'll often, the cuddling and all that.
Mm-hmm. I'll rub your head or rub your back or something.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
And so we kind of have that time where we make it together.
Yeah. Right. Because it's funny because, like, so often I have a big to-do list and lots of things going on.
She's like, oh, checked off Thomas. Time to move on to the next thing. And I'm like, wait a second here.
Get back here. So I have had to learn over the years that, like, we're not finished when we're finished. Like, when we're finished, it's time to, like, have a little bit of time together. Because,
I mean, not typically, because there are times where it's like, okay, we really need to have sex. We want to have sex, and we don't have a lot of time. And so you do what you got to do, and then hurry up, you may go on your way, or the kids are coming home or whatever.
Right.
It's like,
but that can't be the norm.
Right, exactly.
The norm should be there's time together, there's words of affirmation, there's a little bit of touch.
Because you do understand it's not just about physical connection.
Exactly. Yep. Right. And so when you take some time afterwards, that validates the shared experience.
Yeah.
It makes both partners feel seen and appreciated and loved. And this emotional feedback loop is really crucial for maintaining a healthy sexual and relational dynamic. So it's really going to help your relationship in the long run, not just your relationship, but also your sexual relationship.
And the third thing here is sexual satisfaction and communication. One of the things Lysandra and I talk about and emphasize a lot when it comes to your physical relationship together is taking time after you've had sex to really communicate about the experience itself. Like, it's fresh on your mind. It's just happened. And so it's a great time to just talk about what you liked, what you didn't like, what went well, what maybe didn't. Like, what didn't you enjoy about that? Was there something based upon your background, your experience, your history that bothered you? Something you want to do differently next time?
Right.
It's just a nice, calm, open space for partners to communicate. You just connected physically, emotionally, spiritually, and relationally, you're also having this time to connect as you talk as well. And the beautiful thing about this, and this is one of the reasons why we so adamantly oppose the lie that says, whether it's TV, culture, or whatever else, that says once you get married and you've been married for a long time, sex just kind of gets old and boring.
No way.
It should get better over time because you know your spouse better. You're learning them. You're getting your doctorate degree in your spouse physically and sexually.
I'm going to start calling you Dr. Thomas.
Yeah, there you go. The love doctor.
Yeah.
No, I think that's taken. But it's this chance to turn a pleasurable act into a learning, growing experience together.
That's right. And so then your future times together are so much better because of that. So let's switch and really talk about the practical ways to do this. Because maybe you're like, okay, I get it. I need to give some time to my spouse after sex. But like, what does that look like? How do I do it? We haven't been doing that so far. All we do, we have sex, we roll over and go to sleep. Or we have sex, we go shower and we're done. Like, there's no talking, there's no cuddling, there's nothing. So what does it actually look like to take care of each other after sex?
So first thing that is a great thing is skin to skin cuddling. That you're staying close, literally. Holding each other with no agenda, right? Because you've already crossed that off your to-do list.
Yeah, there is no more agenda.
Right? So there is no more agenda. And that just keeps the emotional energy flowing, right? You've just had this beautiful, pleasurable experience that binds you together, and it just enhances and makes that time last a lot longer. Whether you're laying chest to chest, you're spooning, you're simply holding hands as your body relaxes in the afterglow of the experience that you've had, and just prolonging this contact and this connection that you've had.
Well, and once mothers give birth, right now, there's this big push for skin to skin contact, right? So like the baby comes and they put the baby on the mother's chest, skin to skin, and then now they're doing that though with fathers.
Yeah.
Dads, take off your shirt, hold that baby, this naked little baby with maybe just a little diaper on. And the dad is getting the skin to skin contact. And what that's doing is trying to create a bond between the father and the baby that, didn't exist before because that baby was in the mama's womb.
Yeah.
So you think about that bond that is created by skin to skin contact. Well, that's the bond you're trying to create with your spouse. It's that closeness. There's just something about it.
And there's no doubt about that, because just think about when you were dating and everything else, and holding hands.
Yeah.
And we hold hands all the time. We still have that connection. We haven't lost that. We prefer being as close as possible. When we go out on dates, we always sit on the same side. When at all possible. In rare events, in group settings, it just happens where we have to sit across or something, which I hate.
Yeah, you can see his bad attitude come out right away.
Oh yeah, right away. Because we like that physical connection, and there's something so powerful in that. So instead of just like hitting it and quitting it and you're like separating, like just stay in that moment for as long as you can. If you have time, you don't have to rush off to something else. Just take some time with it.
Yeah. Okay, this next one I really, really love. And I think we need to implement this a little bit better for you and me, because this is one I think that maybe we are lacking a little bit, and that is pillow talk with intention. So this is the idea of like you're just laying there looking into each other's eyes, both of your heads are on the pillow, and you're talking. Now, we pretty much always do the whole like after sex discussion, like what did you like, what did you not like, or we love saying something like this, like, man, you are a master at that, like you are so good at that, and we're good about that. But a lot of times once we get back to bed and everything, it's just like, okay, turn on the TV or go to sleep. But I like this idea of the pillow talk and just kind of looking into each other's eyes and talking for a little bit. And this can be more discussion about sex itself, or it can even be just a discussion together about like how you're feeling or how is your stress level, what's going on at work. Like it could be just real stuff because you're open and you're vulnerable right there.
Yeah.
You've been closer than any other possible way. Like that is the closest you can be during sex. So now you're going to talk about life, maybe talk about feelings and all of that kind of stuff.
Talk about what you love about each other, like looking each other in the face. And
yeah, this is where your husband can actually be like, your eyes are so pretty.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you can see my eyes now.
Yeah, exactly. Because beforehand, and he's looking at other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
About you. So,
yeah, but it's gonna keep your communication open, and it's gonna deepen trust, create vulnerability, create that really deep connection. So I love the idea, pillow talk with intention after sex.
Well, and I think we're good about this depending upon when we have sex, because if it's at night, which typically a lot of the times it is, because that's when things get quiet and you
settle down a little.
Yeah, and so. But by the time night rolls around here, like, we're exhausted.
Yeah.
So, but when we have opportunities in the morning or sometime during the day.
Afternoon delight.
Exactly, yeah. we've got more energy to kind of lay there and connect. So a lot of that just depends upon, timing, what's going on in your life as well.
Energy level.
It's such a great thing. There's something about those sweet conversations afterward. That really draw you together.
Yeah, and I want to just mention this because I know a lot of you are like, you don't understand how tired I am. I'm fighting for the energy just to have sex. I don't have time for anything
understand
afterwards.
that, yeah.
We get that because there are plenty of times when we're like, I really want to have sex, but I'm so tired. And
well, I was this past weekend while we were in our breakout session talking about sex, I told the story about 2 weeks ago when we were doing the marriage retreat up in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And that was a Thursday night to a Saturday morning retreat. And so we had made plans. I believe it was it Thursday night?
Thursday night we were too tired because we flew in and we spoke Thursday night and everything, and it was just too tiring. But we had decided we were going to have sex Friday night.
Yeah. So
that was the plan.
Friday night rolls along, and
it was Thursday night.
It was
right.
Thursday.
Yeah. I know. I'm messing you up with your story because I said the wrong thing.
Yes.
You're right. It was Thursday night, but we were too tired.
We got in Wednesday, and then
that's right. Yes.
We did some hiking Thursday, and then we spoke Thursday night.
That's right, yes.
And that was our plan. Was like, okay, Thursday night, we get back to the room. We'll have some time to have sex with each other.
Yeah.
And, of course, we had a long, busy day. We have the session that started at like 7 or 8 at night. I forget which one.
It was late, yeah.
And then, of course, we're staying around. We're connecting with people. We're having great conversations. People are asking about marriage advice and telling us about their problems. We get back to the room late. And we're just kind of looking at each other like, how are you feeling? Are you up for it? You got enough energy? And finally, you were like, I really want to have sex, but if you just want to go to sleep, that's fine also. And I was just like, thank God, I am so tired. Like, I want to, but I would really love to just go to sleep.
Yeah. So we were both very relieved we went to sleep. And then had time for afternoon delight tomorrow, the next day.
On Friday, yeah.
So we could both have enough energy.
Quote unquote nap
rest time.
Yeah. But it's like there are times where life is just so busy and you don't have the energy.
Yeah, we get that.
And that is totally fine.
But what we want to encourage you to do is fight for more play. Fight for the energy to take care of each other after sex.
Yeah.
Because I get it. Like, there's a lot of you who are thinking like, listen, I just barely have enough energy to have sex. I need to just roll over and go to sleep. But you don't know how that's making your spouse feel. They may feel neglected. They may feel used. They may feel like you don't really care about them for anything but the actual act of sex. So what you need to do is fight that.
Yeah.
Fight that urge to just go to sleep. 5 minutes. Like,
a little extra time goes a long way.
Surely you can make 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's just something I want to encourage you with.
You gave 3 minutes during sex. You can get 5 minutes afterward, right?
It's less than 10 altogether, guys. Come on.
Exactly. I kind of like this one. Share a soundtrack where you're just kind of keeping a playlist of chill post-sex music you both love. Like, just like beautiful love songs.
Yeah, get your mixtape out.
I have a playlist on my telephone that is just like, it says Lysandra, and it's just got our love songs on it.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
That we can play, and you're just kind of letting the vibe linger by lying together, listening to music, maybe singing to each other a little bit.
Yeah.
And just kind of creates this shared emotional memory.
Yeah, listen to your song. Like, what's your song, right?
Yeah.
This is a cool idea. We've never done this. Give a gentle massage. Now, I should say, every single time we have sex, we finish by like me rubbing your back or something till we both fall asleep.
Yeah.
Unless it's during the day and we're going off to appointments or something. But so not that kind of massage. This is we're talking like use oils, lotion, give like a real back massage or a real foot massage or something after sex. So I'm putting in my request right now.
Oh boy.
This is now my expectation.
I knew this episode was going to come to bite me in the rear.
It's going to bite you in the rear because I want a real massage now. And what I'm thinking is I might actually get one because you've already had sex.
Yeah, I don't know what a massage would look like that doesn't lead to sex.
I know. I would like to find out.
Like, is this going to lead to sex again?
I hope not.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Is this going to lead to double time?
I guess you won't know until you try it.
All right. So,
I'm hoping it leads to an actual good long-term massage.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to find
I like
out.
that meme that's been going around again lately. I've seen it a bunch, but it seems like it's popping up again. Where somebody just says like, "Hey, I'm a magician. I turned a back rub into 4 daughters."
Oh yeah, that's great. That's a great one. Yeah. But when you do like a massage or something like that after sex, it's basically a caring gesture that says, I want to keep connecting with you even after the main event. Like, I'm not just here for that. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
So that's what I want you to do.
This may be for you. This is probably not for us.
This is not going to be for us.
But for some of you, this, like, instead of music, this would be something that you would really enjoy.
Depends on the vibe of the relationship.
Exactly. Or somebody in the relationship, because and that is read something together. So for instance, one of you may be a reader and just love reading, and one of you maybe doesn't, and so maybe you're going to try reading a short story, poetry, or a sensual passage aloud. Going through Song of Solomon, and there's a lot in there. Book of Proverbs has a lot to say about a sexual relationship between a husband and wife as well. But it kind of brings this sense of comfort, intimacy, shared focus, and which is especially nice for winding down together. Yeah. And like I said, maybe both of you like reading, which is great, and this would be something for you. But maybe only one of you does, and you're like, I'm not really into reading, but your spouse is. And so, you're going to kind of bend in their direction and say, hey, I know this is something you really enjoy, and so let's experience this together.
Yeah, I think that's really beautiful. And there are some couples that this is just an evening routine.
Yes.
Like whether or not you have sex, so why not put it after sex too? So I like that. All right, enjoy quiet presence. I suck at this. Enjoy quiet presence. I don't know how to just be quiet.
It's hard for you just to be quiet. Yeah.
Now, I'm getting better the older I get, and I bet a lot of you could say that maybe you're older than I am even, and you're like, yeah, it was harder for me when I was younger. I'm already experiencing that, so I assume it will get even easier and easier.
Well, you shared something with me just the other day, which I do all the time, but I didn't realize you started doing this sometimes, and that is just like riding down the road in the car with no music or anything playing, just in the quiet.
Yeah, I've like my entire life, I have been terrified of silence and always had worship music on or podcasts or something.
Audiobooks.
Yeah, always something.
Or on the phone.
Yep. And now, like I'd make a phone call because I didn't want to be quiet in the car. And now I will turn off the radio. It'll just be me alone. I'll pray. I'll think. I'll just enjoy quiet. And I've never, ever done that my whole life until this year. Something about turning 40, I guess. Yeah. 40 has changed some things. People said it would, and it did. But anyway, so enjoy some quiet presence. And maybe for you, the best connection comes without words.
So my birthday was just a few weeks ago, and the girls all write me letters and all that stuff, which I absolutely just love. And one of the things Catherine talked about that she really enjoys is that we can, because of the way we both are and how we feel safe and comfortable together, we can just be together and just be in silence. Like we don't have to talk. And for some people, like, that speaks the loudest about how safe you feel.
Yeah.
When it's like,
right.
I can just be in your presence and I don't feel pressured to talk or have a conversation. I can just be with you.
Yeah.
And there is something about that, just being together in the silence.
Yeah, and sometimes we will do this. You just lie in silence, maybe like one spouse lies on the other's chest and just listen to their heartbeat.
Dibs on laying on your chest.
I know you love, well, say you love to hear my heartbeat. That's not the only thing I guess you were thinking of there. But feel each other breathe. Just listen to each other's breath. Make soft eye contact, not creepy.
Yeah.
But just be together. And so this is something that I need to work on. But I'm getting better. Age has helped.
Yeah. Now the thought, take a shower or bath together.
Yeah. I like this idea. Except for that your water is scalding hot and burns me.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
He wants to come out of a shower or a bath with your skin looking like you got a 3rd-degree burn.
Yeah, it makes me feel alive. Like,
Yeah. And for me, I'm like, oh, it hurts. I don't like it.
yeah.
I'm a baby.
But a warm shared cleanup can feel nurturing and fun.
Yeah.
It transitions the mood while maintaining closeness. This is the thing. Like, you will sometimes see on movies or TV shows or whatever. It's like they'll have sex with each other and then just roll over and go to sleep.
Right.
And it's like that. First of all, that's gross.
Yucky.
Nobody does that.
Well, you don't want to shame anybody who's listening on the podcast who's like, that's what we do every night.
No,
Listener, we love you.
No,
it's okay.
I will shame you because
No!
that means your sheets and your blankets are disgusting.
Stop. Don't even.
Are disgusting.
Okay, all right.
Well, and you have to use the bathroom. Like, you need to use the bathroom afterward. Like,
Maybe we need to have like an episode on sex hygiene.
Exactly. Like, you've got infections. Your sheets and your blankets are dirty. Like, nobody just does that.
You're like making me laugh so hard you're making me cough.
Yeah. So you need to take time to clean up, right? And so
why not do it together and make it fun and nurturing?
yeah, and then like the
Sponge bath.
and then like the massage, like, you never know, might lead to
Oh my goodness! By then you're starting again at
round 2.
Oh man, I don't know if I got time for this. Okay, so those are some practical ideas. We want to share with you a portion from Song of Solomon. And I neglected to write down the chapter. I'm sorry about that, but I do have the verses if you want to figure it out.
Okay, let me see.
I don't know
while
why
you're
I
sharing,
must
then
have
I'll
missed
see if I can find it.
doing that. But anyway, so this is a portion of Song of Solomon, which if you want to hear more about sex in the Bible, you can find that throughout the book of Song of Solomon. It uses a lot of poetry and definitely it uses terms from a different culture than what maybe we are used to now in this day and age. But when you really study it out, it is quite beautiful.
Chapter 8.
Chapter 8, and we're going to look at 6 and 7. It says, set me as a seal upon your heart. Because a lot of times I think we think of sex as like, this is like something that we do. It's just part of our marriage. It's
Just a physical
it's
release
a physical
or whatever.
Quick, yeah. But it's so much deeper than that, and we find that in Song of Solomon. So it says, set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm. For love is strong as death, jealousy as fierce as the grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, the very flame of the Lord. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it. If a man offered for love all the wealth of his house, he would utterly be despised. And so when you think about what sex actually is, it's so much deeper than physical, especially in a marriage when it's done properly in the bounds of what God created sex to be. It's so beautiful. And so after sex, like when you've experienced that deepness of connection and love and physical touch, then afterwards, these small gestures, whether it's touch or conversation or affirmation, it's all building trust and deeper intimacy.
Yeah.
And this poetic passage in Song of Solomon speaks to passionate, enduring love, and it transcends the physical. It's more than that. It's a divine bond sealed on the heart and soul of both spouses. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about more play. It's not just physical play. It is more than that. It is about the heart.
Well, and this is one of those things why the scripture warns us about taking sex outside of God's designed bounds, because God is the one who designed it. He understands the damage that it does to us physically, emotionally, spiritually, when we treat sex lightly.
Right.
And, this is one of the lies that our culture tells us is that, hey, it's just a physical act. And that's just not the case. And those of you that have had sex with multiple people, for whatever the reason, whether it's, hey, your first time was when you got married, your spouse died, and you got remarried. Like, there's something special about that first time, like, that you never forget. There's something about giving yourself physically, emotionally, opening up, spiritually, trusting somebody with that act that, you just have like these one night stands or whatever. Like, it does something to you.
Yeah.
Because it is different. It's not just a physical thing, and we can't emphasize that enough.
Well, and the Bible even talks about when you do that, you're sinning against your own body. You are actually hurting yourself when you take it outside the bounds of marriage.
Yeah. I mean, and it does differentiate it between the other things that we do. Mm-hmm. And I forget the verse, but it talks about the fact that, hey, every sin or every wrongdoing that you do is different than sinning sexually.
Yeah.
Like, because sex is something different. It is unique, and it is meant to be a special time of connection between a husband and a wife.
Absolutely.
But there are differences between how husbands and wives often process intimacy afterward. And one of the ways is emotionally. And once again, when we talk about husbands and wives, we're speaking generally. There are always exceptions to the rule because people are created uniquely. And so just understand that. But husbands generally experience a sense of physical release and emotional calm, often leading to sleepiness or withdrawal. Mm-hmm. So I feel in that moment, I feel very connected to you through the act of sex itself. And I feel closest to you in that moment. So for me and for a lot of men, in order to feel close, like, sex is a big part of that. Mm-hmm. And so I want to be close afterward. I like to cuddle afterward. I don't feel a strong need to process verbally afterward. Mm-hmm. I'm not a man of a lot of words anyway. Mm-hmm. But I know I feel that strong connection afterward.
Okay, so the connection that you feel and, wanting to cuddle or whatever, you want time. You do like a cuddle, like but pretty much you, like, if possible, your next goal in life is sleep.
Yes.
Like, that is the next thing that you want.
Especially at night. Like, if it's at night, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for men, it's like intimacy equals accomplishment plus bonding. And
I think part of it is also like, I feel safe.
Yeah.
We've just trusted each other with something that is extremely vulnerable. And so that trust feels very strong in that moment, which means I can let my guard down.
Yeah.
I can relax. I can go to sleep, like, because of that closeness, that bond, that trust that I feel in that moment.
Okay. And wives generally, and this is typically, right? So there's exception to the rules and we understand that, but wives often will seek emotional closeness after physical intimacy. So oftentimes a woman wants to feel emotionally close, and that will lead to sex, whereas men want sex to feel emotionally close. But a woman is looking for that afterwards as well. And they're really valuing that afterglow time for the deepening the bond of the relationship. So typically women are going to be more likely to desire the affirmation afterwards, the reassurance or connection post-sex, which is a little bit different than men.
Well, and it makes sense because you want to know, as a woman, I know this is true for you. You want to know that there's more there than just the physical.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, obviously, you want to be desired physically. That is very, very important to you.
And women want to be desired physically.
And so, guys, understanding they want that connection, they want to be desired. You need to make sure you have that connection and are building that connection before you have sex. Not in a selfish way that hey, if I do this, it's going to lead to sex, but it's an important part of it. But after sex, our wives want to know that we don't just desire them physically.
Right, exactly. So if a husband, so thinking about how the wife is feeling, and the wife, wants that emotional connection after sex. If a husband disconnects right after sex, like falls asleep or just turns away, a wife may interpret that as emotional distance.
Yeah.
Even if he feels totally bonded and he's great. Like he feels like, man, I feel so close to her. I'm just going to turn over and go to sleep because I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
The woman is taking that very painfully and very personally.
Where it feels used and...
Yeah. And like, okay, all he cares about is me physically, and he doesn't actually care about me personally.
Well, and maybe not even cares about you physically. Cares about his own physical release, right?
Yeah, right. It's not even about me. I'm just the person that's in the room.
Yeah.
Is how it can feel, which that's a nasty feeling.
Yeah.
But this gap in expectations can lead to misunderstanding and anger and resentment, and it can lead to one spouse kind of shutting things down. Like, I don't want to have sex with you. I have no desire. And then, of course, the husband's like, I don't understand why. Why not? And all of this. So make sure you're talking about that. Tell your spouse the expectation for after sex care. Like, what are you looking for after sex? Because there's a possibility that it's the wife who wants to turn over.
Yeah.
And the husband is looking for some cuddling, and there's always exceptions to the rule. Or maybe both spouses are like, listen, when it's over, I want to go straight to sleep. Okay, cool. Deal.
Yep.
And so make sure you're talking about it.
So you have that situation. And then there's just what's going on neurochemically.
Okay.
Right? And the responses that we have. Sex does some similar things, but it does some different things in men and women as well. Women, so both partners release oxytocin.
During sex or after. Okay.
Yes. So, but women tend to have a stronger oxytocin response, which increases the need for closeness and bonding.
Interesting.
And then men experience a surge of dopamine and prolactin, which often brings satisfaction and drowsiness. So, like, there are legitimate things that are happening chemically inside of us that are developing a certain response.
Yeah.
And I think understanding that hey, the same exact things aren't happening inside both of us. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times our response is based upon what's going on inside of us. And if we don't understand that, we can take it a certain way that it's not meant to be taken.
Yeah.
But these chemical differences can cause men to feel relaxed and complete, while women may still crave emotional connection or conversation.
Right. So maybe some of you right now are like, oh, that's why we always have this disconnect afterwards. That's why we don't always agree what we do afterwards. Yeah. It's like there's something actually happening different inside of both of you.
Yeah, and it's almost like for men, we've climbed the mountain, right? The mission and the goal is complete, and in every aspect.
You've won the prize.
But for women, it's almost like they're still emotionally climbing the mountain.
Yes, I agree with that.
And it's where I haven't got to the end of my race and my journey yet.
Yeah.
And so part of the understanding as husbands is like, okay, we need to walk the rest of the way with them. We need to run the rest of the way with them until they have that closeness that they're looking for.
And to me, that just speaks to sacrificial love.
Right.
Because husbands, you're tired, you're ready to go to sleep, but you're saying, I'm going to put my own need for sleep and rest to the side because I love my wife more than I love myself. And I'm going to give her what she needs during this time. And then as you do that, you're actually making her want sex more the next time.
Well, and it's just, okay, I've gotten to the point where I feel totally complete in our relationship in that moment, where it's like physically I feel connected, emotionally, spiritually, I feel this connection. I feel complete in that moment. And so my response, instead of saying, I'm good, now we're done. It should be, okay, I want my wife to feel as complete as I do right now in this moment. Mm-hmm. And so then that does mean loving like Jesus loved, loving your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself sacrificially for it, as Lysandra mentioned. So it's like, okay, I would love to just kind of lay here quietly, or whatever, but I'm going to make sure my wife feels complete right now as well. So I am going to talk. I am going to communicate. I am going to share my feelings and everything else.
Right. Another thing that's very different between men and women is communication needs. Wives often want to talk and cuddle or reflect on the emotional side of the experience afterwards. So they want to use post-intimacy time to affirm the relationship and feel that emotional security. I think that this plays a lot into love languages, though, as we talked about at the beginning of the episode.
Sure.
If your love language is words and you're a woman, you have like a double whammy here where it's really important to you. And that is me.
Yes.
So I'm a woman who also like experiences love most deeply through words or acts of service, but
both.
But words for
but
sure.
The acts of service has already happened.
That's already done. So
now it's time
check
for words.
Now I need words. And I also am very insecure physically.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of a triple whammy for you to have to deal with me. Sorry. But Thomas is very good about like taking time to communicate afterwards and say the things that I need to hear to make me feel confident. Even though for him, he's ready to just go to sleep and like, well, cuddle and go to sleep.
Cuddle for sure. Yes.
Cuddle and go to sleep. Yeah. But there is a difference between men and women in this.
So husbands may not feel the same need to process through words. Obviously, there are some men who that's their verbal processors. And so, just like there are women who are verbal processors. So you do have some that do that. But they feel validated through physical closeness more than verbal interaction, which is how I typically experience things. Like we have the conversation, talk about what we enjoy, and typically talk about how good it was and whatever else. But I'm ready to just be together.
Quietly usually.
And so here you have this challenge where partners may assume the other isn't feeling the same depth, when in reality they're just processing differently. It's like, why does she keep why does she want to keep talking? Like we're close now.
Yeah.
We've connected, and for her, you've got to understand, and maybe for him, where it's like, this is part of the process of feeling that closest.
Yeah. And one thing to really consider, especially for you guys. Now, remember, we say that there are exceptions to the rules, so we are understanding that, we are pointing that out.
Yeah.
But typically, if after sex connection is neglected, oftentimes it's the wife who feels emotionally disconnected, even if the sex was really good. So I think some guys out there are like, man, if I'm really good at in sex, like having sex, I'm really a great lover, then I'm good. But there's so much more to it. You can be a great lover.
You're welcome, babe.
Yeah.
I did it.
If he is a great lover, but then afterwards he has no more play, there's no after sex care, there's not enough great sex in the world that's going to make a wife desire sex if he treats her bad.
Well, and that's the difference between a great lover and a great partner. Like a great spouse. Because I think you're totally right. You can be really good at sex, and just making sure that your spouse has a great time and enjoys themselves and is fulfilled and satisfied in that way, and not be a great spouse.
Yeah, but I think what I'm trying to point out is like, even if you're a great lover, if you're not a great spouse, then as a woman, I'm not going to desire sex, even if your sex is great.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel close to you, and I don't want to have sex with someone I don't feel close to.
Yeah.
So, like, the point that I'm trying to make is this is super important, guys.
No, I think you made it very well.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, it's very, very important. Because both spouses, when they engage in intentional aftercare, like the cuddling, gentle talk, of affirming words, whatever it may be, massage, music, intimacy becomes a deeply bonding and nourishing part of the relationship. And the woman is going to be more interested in sex next time. So you're not doing this out of manipulation, but with the understanding that it's going to benefit you in the long run. So take time for it.
Yeah. But I mean, and this is just one more thing where it's true of in a relationship is you as a spouse have a responsibility to meet the needs of your spouse in that moment. Mm-hmm. So after sex, we all have different needs. Mm-hmm. And I should be willing and you should be willing to go the extra mile to help meet the needs of our spouse. And so understanding exactly what your spouse needs after.
Yeah.
What helps bridge the gap because we are so different.
Right. And that's never going to happen without talking about it.
Yeah.
Like if you have been married for 10 years and every time you have sex, your husband turns over and just goes to sleep and it's bothered you for 10 years, but for 10 years you haven't told him, that's on you.
I agree.
You should have told him. Like it is your responsibility to tell your spouse what bothers you, what you like, what you don't like, what you need. And then I think that there also may be some people who are listening who are like, I didn't even know I needed that, but now I understand.
Yeah.
Now that I've heard you talking about this, now I get that that's why I'm so mad after sex. That's it, you know? And so now that you know it's been brought to light, okay, now you got to share it. Now you got to talk about it. So make sure that you're having the discussion.
Well, it may not be mad. It may be, shamed.
Hurt.
Or feel guilty or
Resentment.
just disconnected.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing, and you bring up communication, which is so important. You can't just assume your partner knows.
No.
And that's true of any area of our relationship, but it's true of this as well.
Yeah.
And so we encourage you, hey, practice more play, like cuddling, talking, soft touch. We're not going to go back through the list, but you're working to extend the connection beyond just the act of sex itself.
That's right. And remember that being different isn't wrong. You and your spouse are different.
That's good.
That's a good thing. It's not wrong. It's just an opportunity to understand each other and to love each other better. Okay? Now, maybe this has struck a chord with you. Maybe you're like, man, I need to learn more about this. I want to get better at this. We have a bonus resource for you. It is 10 after sex care ideas for couple. It's just a little sheet of paper that we can send you via email. And it's something that you can kind of go over. Maybe you can try all 10 different things and say like, okay, that was stupid. We both hated that.
That's not us. Yeah,
this
as a couple
one we love. This one I love, you hate, but we're going to do it because you love me. Whatever it is, all right?
Yeah.
You can go through and try each one. And then you also have 10 more sexcapades on the schedule.
Right, because you can't try the aftercare until you've done it.
Right, so now you have 10 opportunities
where
guys, it's like you got to have sex.
Hey, guys, here's what you do. Is like, hey, honey, I got this resource from this podcast, and, I really want to connect with you.
I want to try all 10 things.
No, that's...
10 different times.
Yeah.
So we want to email that to you, though. So if you would like that, just email us at info@familymeeting.org and ask for the 10 after sex care ideas for couples, and we will shoot that over to you.
So family meeting tonight is, I hope, obvious to you, just between you as a husband and a wife, and just talking with each other about the needs that you have after you have sex. Like, what exactly do you need from me to feel most connected in that moment to help extend that connection? Mm-hmm. Is it, hey, I want to chat about it. Like, I want to talk about what we just did and how we connected, what was great. I want to talk about our feelings. What do we love about each other? How do we feel in our relationship? Or maybe it's, I just want to feel close. I want to lay, I want to cuddle, I want to be in the silence. What is it that helps you feel connected? And maybe you need that resource and you can use that as a tool to kind of guide that conversation. Do feel free to reach out to us, info@familymeeting.org. But an important conversation for you to have so that you don't feel disconnected after you've had sex together. We want to help bring you together as a couple.
Definitely. Thank you guys for joining us today. Please go and subscribe to the Family Meeting Podcast from your favorite podcast provider. And if you found this information helpful, please share this episode on social media and invite your friends and family to listen in with you.
To find more content and information Lysandra and I provide, you can go to our website, familymeeting.org, or email us at info@familymeeting.org. If you'd like to shoot us a text or call us, you can send a voice message at 904-257-3062.
And we want to invite you to join us for our next family meeting right here next week as we discuss teachable moments with your kids. We are going to talk about how to bring God into our parenting in a more organic way, in every aspect of parenting, and just watching for those teachable moments where you can bring God into your parenting.
And we're told in Deuteronomy, hey, when you walk, when you lay down, when you get up, whatever you're doing, like, you should be having these conversations. So I think it'll be a good discussion and help all of us as parents to be more intentional with this. Thanks for joining us today for this family meeting. Have a great week, everybody. This meeting is adjourned. All right.
That was a good discussion. I feel like homework for YouTubers needs to be to have sex with your spouse.
And then
that's your homework.
Do the aftercare.
Yeah.
But this is what I want to hear from you is, like, what after sex makes you feel the most connected to your spouse? What is it? Is it the conversations? Is it the cuddling? Is it something else?
Is it smoking a cigarette?
Wow.
That's old school now.
Yeah, that's very old school, and we don't want the lung cancer or the vaping or whatever. But, yeah, what is it that helps you feel most connected to your spouse after you've done the deed? We'll have that conversation right here in the comments. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.